Hi, good day, people. So good to be here again. So excited. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so excited doing this video. Number one, the quietness in this place. God, I can't compare it. Like the house is quiet, the kids are back in school, the compound is like so serene, no disturbance, no one is running around. I don't have to shout and say, "You people are disturbing me." I'm so excited. Everybody's yeah, life continues, everybody's back to our schedule, children back in school, me back at work, and now I can do my video in peace and quietness. Peace and quietness. Oh, peace and quietness. Peace and quietness. You know, children are so adorable. Yeah, they are beautiful. They are good to have around, but they can test your patience. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, they can. And so this morning, I'm back again. And so today, I'm back again. Yeah, I'm back again, back again, back again. First and foremost, I want to appreciate you for watching my previous videos. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you. I'm grateful to God once again for the privilege. I always say it's a privilege. We are not qualified, but He has called us. Okay, I thank God for the privilege to use this medium to reach out to people. It's a privilege that I am not taking for granted. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Thank you, people, for checking on my videos. Thank you for coming again to this channel. I really do appreciate it. And I want to believe that you already opened the package, you already unwrapped your package, and you have started making use of everything that is there inside that package. Like I said, don't dull yourself. Make sure you are doing something with what you have inside that package, with whatever you have been able to pick or dig out of the package. Now today, I want to talk about a very germane something. It's a very germane something. Somebody asked the question. The person said, how do you handle boredom in marriage? In fact, marriage could be boring, no? Trust me. If you know, you know. Let's be serious. Let's get serious here, girl. Yes, marriage could be a lot of things, and trust me, boring or boredom is one of those things. Yes, and so this person asked, how do you handle it? When somebody said, how do you handle something, that means that problem is on ground and it's not happening to just one person or two persons or three, or it's something that is happening all over. And trust me, boredom in marriage is one of the many reasons why marriages are broken today, why we talk of divorce this day. A lot of things can be responsible for boredom in marriage. Many things can be responsible. They could be physical, they could be personal, they could be psychological, in fact, they could be spiritual, they could be emotional. So a lot of things are responsible for boredom in marriage. But then, now, I'm married, because I know somebody will be like, who is she to talk about marriage? Oh, how old is she? Married, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm married, and it's been a while. I've had a lot of junior ones in this thing that we call marriage. So I can talk about marriage, like I can give my own opinion, what I thought, what I feel, and of course, if you like, you accept it. If you like, good for you, whatever you want to do with it. But trust me, I've been a while in this thing called marriage, and of course I can say one or two things. I've had my own shares of ups and downs. I've had my own shares of ups and downs. I've had my own shares of the beauty and the ugly, whatever, think of it. So with my own little experience and exposure, I believe I can say something. You know, someone looked at me like somehow, sometime when I said with my age in marriage, the person was like, how long have you been married? And I looked at the person like, how long? I'm older than you in marriage. You know, so he's not someone that should ask me, how old are you in marriage? Like, seriously, I'm way, like, way older than you in marriage. So respect your elders, like respect your seniors. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so a lot of things can be responsible for boredom in marriage, and I think I would say one of it to start with is of the very many things that cause boredom in marriage is over familiarity. Like, you know what my Nigerian people will call see finish. See finish. You know, we get to a point in marriage where we lose all the butterflies, we lose all the pleasure, we get so used to each other that nothing seems new again. You know, we are not, most of the time we are not proactive, we are not prepared for what's ahead of us, and so couples get so used to each other and they're like, what else do you want to do that I've not seen? What else, you know, that kind of a thing. So when you get too familiar with someone, you tend to, you know, at some point get bored. You know, people will say, how will you be seeing somebody, the same person every day? Many of us are not, or let me say, many people are not prepared for that particular phase where you get so used to each other, and then if care is not taken, you get tired of each other. So I call it over familiarity, which personally I don't believe should be a problem, but it's just what it is. Let me just put it that way. It's just what it is, you know, over familiarity. Another thing that causes boredom in marriage, from my own perspective, is comparison. Comparison is a very bad thing. Like, it's eating up a lot of relationships, especially marriages. And comparison doesn't only happen in marriage, and it's not only limited to marriage. There are other places where you compare people and then it becomes a problem. But okay, let's focus on marriage. You know, some couples or some spouses tend to compare their spouse to someone next door, or a spouse, or someone somewhere. Like a man is comparing his wife to somebody's wife. Can't you be like Yalagbaja? Can't you be like so person? Look at the way she dresses, look at the way she walks, look at this, look at that, you know. And then a woman would say to her husband, oh, look at you, that is somebody that bought car for his wife, that is somebody that can go miles for his wife. All these things, you know, you compare this, you compare this person, and then before you know it, it becomes a problem. If you do not check it as a person, it becomes a problem. So comparison is very bad in marriage. You don't compare your spouse to someone. You and your spouse you have come a long way, you know, going through the dating period, the courting period, and then into marriage. You've been together for a while, you've known each other. So there's no point comparing this. Whatever your spouse cannot do to you, or give to you, or be to you, at some point you just have to make peace with it. And that leads me to trying to change your partner. Trying to change someone is a big issue. Like, not even just changing your wife or your husband, trying to change anyone at all, it's another problem. You know, when you try to change someone, to bend someone to who you want the person to be, or trying to bend someone to meet up with your own taste, it gets to a point that you get frustrated. You are frustrated, your partner or your spouse is frustrated, or either of you at some point gets frustrated, because it gets to a point where the person you are trying to change, maybe the person is someone that is considerate and is someone that, anyway, whatever you want, I'll give it to you, and then at some point the person will get tired. Okay, let's say the person is even trying. If the person does not change, at some point, you are trying to force a change, you get tired, you get frustrated. So at some point, or whatever, both of you or either of you gets frustrated, and of course you are bored, you are like, I don't even understand you, then you complain everywhere, and when complaining gets into mind, it is about complain every time. Trust me, you guys are going to have problem. Yes, you are going to have problem. If it is about one complaint or the other, about a person and about probably same thing, you guys are going to have issues. So these are the possible causes of boredom in marriage. And there's another thing. I call this public display of affection, PDA. It's a common thing. Many people love it. Personally, I'm not an advocate of PDA. I've said it before and I will say it again. I'm not an advocate of PDA. Whatever I want to do with my spouse, hello, we do it in our house. If I want to climb his head, if I want to jump over him, if I want to ride on his back or whatever, if I want to do anything with him, we'll do it at home. But people are just so used to you. And the funny thing is, many people, I will not say, I don't know, but at least I can tell of some, that because that, how do I put this? Okay, that in the house, they don't even do all these things. But when they are outside, they want everybody to see them together, cuddling, holding hands, and climbing each other. One is backing the other, And one of the ways to know is that it's somebody that tries to do that PDA. The other person might not be playing along. It's just the truth. It's one of the one of the two that tries to do this thing. The other person is like, kilo, go. They are not even playing along. And there are some that are very dramatic, like, okay, let me just play along. See, couples are actors. I've said it to someone before. Most couples are actors. What you see is what you see. You don't see beyond what they show you or whatever they want you to see. Some couples are just big time Nollywood, Hollywood, Bollywood actors. You understand? So it's just that way. And now, what is the problem with PDA? The problem with PDA is that most people that practice PDA, when they get home, they want to continue what they were doing outside for people to see. Like one of the spouses wants them to continue that way indoor, but the one that has been playing along outdoor is like, see, abeg, just leave me alone, don't disturb me, don't bother me, that kind of a thing. So it's just the way it is. And if the other partner is not playing along, then the other person becomes bored and tired and could even flare up. So that's just it. Then I think for the elderly ones, old age could cause it. Another thing is when children start coming into marriage, you have to shift attention. See, everybody is guilty of this at one point or the other. You just shift all the attention to your kids. Either you are giving them all the attentions out of affection, or you are just busy with them. In this part of the world, women, we are very busy with our children. Like, you wake up in the morning trying to prepare your child. You just have to meet the need of the child. God help you as a woman if you have an understanding husband who helps out. Or, okay, it's not bothering you, give your time to your kids, but that little time that you have, just make sure you are bringing it back to him. But there are some of us women that, see, we can't deal. Once we are stressed like this, we are stressed, just leave me alone. See, most of the time, boredom in marriage is not about giving or lack of sex. You know, many people try to limit it to it is because they are not having enough sex. See, it is not. Sometimes it is not all about sex in marriage. Sex is very important in marriage, but it is not all about sex. Sometimes you just need that time. You know, there are some guys that they go to work from morning till evening. When they come back, they just enter the shower and then they change. They are off to the club, and by the time they come back, it is late, such that the wife has to wait for them for the sake of opening and closing or locking the door, and then they are off to bed. And when they get to bed, they do whatever they have to do and they sleep off. But then we need to share times together. When do we get to talk? When do we get to do some other things? You know, the things you were doing when you were dating, when you were courting, the outing and all. See, there are a lot of things that could be responsible for boredom in marriage. Many things, finances, emotional, you know, whatever, you know, psychological stuffs, whatever. Well, a lot of things can be responsible for boredom in marriage. But then how do we handle this boredom? How do we handle boredom in marriage? Now, that is the point. Number one, the very first thing is to acknowledge the fact that this marriage is boring. Just acknowledge it. Know for yourself that your marriage is boring. Don't say, what is even happening now? Or trying to pass blames or transfer aggressions. No. Look within and acknowledge within yourself that the marriage is boring, and talk to your spouse about it. Talk to your partner about it. You know the things you used to do, you know the way things used to be between the two of you. So you should be able to call your partner, like what you used to see, you no longer see it. The way you used to feel, you no longer feel that same way. Or the things that you just try to just let your or talk to your partner about it. You know, there are some partners that are no listeners. But then you know the way you access your partner, you know the way you access your husband, you know the way you access your wife. So try to talk to your partner about it. Try to tell your partner this is what is going on with you, especially as a woman. Talk to your husband, tell your husband you no longer feel the way you used to feel, the things, maybe the things he used to do to you, all those things. Just acknowledge the fact that there is something called boredom in your marriage and talk to each other about it. Okay? Another thing is for you to be ready to make a change. Don't be that woman that will say, this marriage is boring, I'm just tired, you are not the man I married, you are not the man I plan to marry, you are not this. Don't just flare up for no just cause. Don't let your marriage head to a rock because of you. A wise woman builds her home. That's what the Bible says. So be that wise woman that builds her home. Okay? So be ready and be committed to a change. Don't leave things the way they are. Don't say, there's nothing I can do about it. I'll just let it be. Hey, that's a risk, and I'm sure you are not willing to take that risk. So be ready and be committed to a change. Be ready and be committed to a change. Ready to make a difference. Be ready to bring an end to that boredom in your own way. You know, I said from the beginning that the first point I gave is that you should acknowledge it and talk to your partner about it. Now that you are ready to be committed to a change, then you need to get your partner on board. It's not a one-person thing. Both of you are involved in this together. So you must find a way to get your partner on board. Now, there's another thing that I would like to say when I was talking about the comparison part. You know, There are some couples that one is, how do they even say it? There's a way they tell us that if one is a goat, one should be a sheep. It's one of the counsels you get in marriage or when you are planning to get married. If someone, if one is a goat, one has to be a sheep. It's a way of saying if one is furious or one is raging thunder and storm, whatever, one should just be the calm one. Both of you cannot be mad together at the same time, except you just want to scatter the house on purpose, or you want to break down the home on purpose. So one of you has to be the cool one if one is hot, and that's just the way it works. So if you are the type that is always shouting and the husband is always trying to correct you, like, I don't like the way you talk to me, I don't like this, I don't like that, just acknowledge that. And if he says he doesn't like it, don't do it anymore. If whatever you say or whatever you do always anger, it might even be a joke. Some people are not good with the way you joke with them. Like, there are some things that you say and they are like, am I the one you are talking to like that, or is it me you are making jest of? That kind of a thing. So there are some people that cannot make peace with your joke. So if he says he doesn't like that kind of a joke, then just stop it. And if he says, I don't even like the way you do this or do that, then try to make amends. So in the course of trying to do this, get your spouse on board with you. When you are trying to make a change, when you are committing yourself to make a change in your marriage, to make it more lively and all, get your partner on board. If he says don't shout, then don't shout. Then find a way to present your case to him too. Like, I don't like the way you flare up at me too. All those things. The important thing is just communicate your feelings in a way that it will not bring problem, or in a way that it will not bring issues to your family or break your home or bring more troubles to you. So that brings me to communication, which is very, very vital in every relationship. You must always communicate, and communicate in a way that you don't offend your spouse. That is just it. So communication is very, very germane. Another thing is, there were some things you were doing that was making both of you go gaga about each other, the butterflies and all. So most of these things, when married, most of the things that we do while we're dating or courting, we just put them once and say, now it is marriage. Your marriage is serious business. We should not let marriage be just too serious. Like, as a woman, I believe you should not be too serious with your husband, except in the place of prayer. You must take praying for your husband seriously, like a very serious point of duty, like something you must not miss per day, per hour, per minute, per second. Anyhow, you must always pray for your husband. You must raise a prayer altar for him. He is your responsibility when it comes to prayer. So it is your responsibility to pray for your husband. But besides being serious at the prayer altar, when it comes to relating with your husband, don't be too serious. Even when you think that this finances is really getting to us, like even when you feel like you are not getting enough financially, like you want more, and your husband is able to provide as much as he can, or so don't be too serious, like just find a way to play around it. Personally, I play with about a lot of things. I have not said that there are no times that you just have to that thing. There were times, but personally I've gotten to a point where I don't take things too seriously anymore. If the way it is, I just take it the way it is. If it's something that I think I can't handle, or if it's something that I think is trying to get to me, I'm in the habit of now saying, okay, relax, slow down. And there is something I can pray about, I take it to my prayer altar, or I listen to God. God, what are you saying about this thing? You know? So don't get too serious. Play around with him. Even when he's coming from work and he's saying, I'm so tired. Play with him as if you are playing with the baby. Like, Bele, let me sit on your leg. You know, and he's like, no, I told you. My husband does, I told you I'm tired now. I should not sit on my leg. I say, it's even this place I want to sit. You know, so there are times like that. Don't take things too seriously with your spouse or with your husband. Play around, joke with him, raise jokes. Just think of something. Just know what I saw in town today. In fact, if you see one woman or one man, you know, just talk. Just talk. Don't be too serious. The bottom line is, don't take things too seriously with him. So whatever you were doing when you were courting that maybe you've not neglected, you can just reinvent them. You can bring them up again, like, okay, maybe if we try this. Just try new things. Bring new things into the marriage. Be spontaneous. Don't get too familiar with each other. Don't get too serious with each other. Be spontaneous. Try new things, outings, going to places together. Even when you don't feel like it, just try. And when your spouse says this is what he wants you to do, even if you have to leave your work to go and support his own career, why not? Your job as a wife, one of your many responsibilities as a wife is to support your husband and to make sure that he fulfills destiny. And of course, he must fulfill his career. So support him, even if you have to leave whatever you are doing at the moment to go and back him up in whatever he wants to do. Once he says he needs you, just be there for him. Be there for your spouse, even if he's not always available when you need him. Don't say during my own time, you know, you did not show. No, just do your part. Basically, everything has to do with individual. Do your part as an individual in your marriage for the sake of your marriage. Play your part. See, there are some steps that if you take at the long run or even short run, in the long run or in the short run, your husband will come around. He will just flow along. I can testify to that. He will flow along. Like, just make the change. Make the difference. Be the one that if he's talking and you are quiet, he will not shout at you and he will not say, am I the one you are talking to like that? Will you just, so if you know that whatever you say will be in trouble, he too will not raise his voice at you or try to do anything silly with you. Anyways, I know I've said a lot and I hope you have been able to pick one or two things from whatever I've said. But principally, prayer is the key. Pray for your marriage, pray for your husband, pray for your children, pray for yourselves, pray for yourself, pray for your home. Pray for your home, pray for the house that God has given to you. Pray that everything that God has committed into your hands will not fail in your hands, because as a married woman, God has committed your family into your hands, which you must give account of. So pray, 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 and pray. Prayer is the key. I can't stress that enough. Prayer is the key. There is nothing too little, there's nothing too big to be presented to God in prayer. If your marriage is boring, your husband is too busy for you, take it to God in prayer. Tell God to reduce his stress or his workload so that he can have time for you. So there's nothing too little or too big to be taken to God in prayer. Let your house be a house of prayer. Rear a prayer altar within your house. Have your own prayer altar aside the family prayer altar. Have your own prayer altar. Pray over your husband, pray over your children. Just commit your family into God's hands and let God do the rest. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to force a change. Don't try your husband to be who he is not and you want him to be. Don't be the one that is saying, am I the only person here? Am I the only person in the marriage? Why must I be the one doing all the work? Do your part, and at the long run, in the short run, he will join you. Nobody is crazy. Sometimes they just need you to bend, and submission is the key word. That's just a submission. Be submissive to your husband. Give him everything that he needs, and pray that God will reward you in His way and of course through Him. I pray that the Lord will help us. I know I've said a lot. Please pick whatever points that you can pick from everything that I've said. I pray that the Lord will help you and save your marriage. Our marriages will not hit the rock in the name of Jesus. The assignment will not fail in our hands. The Lord will help us. He will keep our home and will be the president over our home, over our family. He will be the president over everything that pertains to us. The Lord help us in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much once again for checking out my videos. Please drop your comments. Let's have your feedback and of course drop your prayer points. Thank you and God bless you.